So pretty much Arctina is one of the best decks to play right now if you just want to grind the ranked ladder on PTCG Live and get a lot of wins and have a deck that's not too complicated to play but also allows you to learn the deck and play well over time. So today I'm going to play a few games with this on the Pokemon TCG Live ranked ladder, try to get 3 wins. Maybe we'll get some losses, who knows, but I'll talk about my plays as we go, and I'll leave a link to my deck list in the description down below so you guys can export that, import it, whatever you want to do with that. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, new channel. So I'll be doing more old school-ish content like this, just like gameplay, reviews, ranked ladder, stuff like that, while my main channel is going to be for the more produced, more higher quality content. But I know a lot of people want to see this kind of content, and I really enjoy making it as well. So, um, yeah, let's get some wins with Arceus Giratina today. Definitely one of the best decks for now to be grinding ranked with. We have a mulligan here. Okay, great. We got an Arceus and we have an Energy. PTCG Live. I never remember who's going first on PTCG Live. I'm going first. Beautiful. So they do start with Shadow Rider Calyrex, which means that I might want to burn this shoe that I normally wouldn't to see if I can get a double turbo here. Because their Shadow Mist can stop me from playing down my double turbos, but the worst case, I'll just Trinity Charge next turn with 2 basic energies. So let's go ahead and play a Trekking Shoe, see what we can get. You know what? That's our second basic energy. That gives us at least a Trinity Charge for next turn if we need it. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that. Ultra Ball, I don't need to use. We have Bibarel next turn. So yeah, next turn, worst case scenario is we can Trinity Charge to either the active Arceus if we don't think the opponent's threatening some sort of one shot on the 220 damage or 210 HP Arceus after they do 10 damage with the Shadow Mist, or we can Ultra Ball for a second Arceus V or Giratina V to put that on the bench, and then Trinity Charge to that. This is all assuming that they even use Shadow Mist. I mean, if they don't use Shadow Mist, then we're just sitting pretty because I can just Ultra Ball for Arceus VSTAR and get a double turbo energy, and I'm off to the races, right? I can even get a choice belt with Starbirth, and then we can knock out the active. So they attach to the bench, and they're going to end their turn with Radiant Eternus VMAX. Okay, so we can get the turn 2 KO here on the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Or, sorry, Shadow Rider Calyrex V. Since it has 210 HP, it's a V Pokemon, I can use Choice Belt to help me secure that knockout. Okay, so let's see here. We're not going to need this Psychic Energy anymore. We're going to want to Bibarel. Ultra Ball for Arceus V-Star will Bibarel before we use Starbirth. Let's also Trekking Shoes. Will we like this Grass Energy? A lot of energy in our hand that I don't necessarily want. No, we don't want the energy. Okay, cool. So we get another Arceus. I'm going to Ultra Ball away the Raihan and the energy for Arceus V-Star. Now we're in the deck, so let's go ahead and check the prizes. We have 2/2 Giratina V-Star. This is our only Arceus V-Star. Interesting. We have Charon's Care in the deck. That's always a strong card when the opponent's not expecting it. We have 1 Psychic, 2 Grass. We have 1 Psychic on the active Arceus already. And I do have Palpad in the deck, so I can always get back that Raihan that I discarded, so I'm not too worried about that. So we're going to evolve this. We're not going to use Starbirth, though. We're going to go ahead and Industrious Incisors, draw up to 5. We have this Ultra Ball that we can use if we want to for like a Tina or something. So Starbirth, I think, is just going to grab us Double Turbo plus Choice Belt. Although I would love to also have a path to the peak, but I mean, I could just search out a supporter here. I could play like Judge or something, go Double Turbo plus Judge, but I want to take that aggressive knockout. So we're going to go ahead and Starbirth for... Because if we give this deck too long to set up, if we give the Shadow Rider deck too long to set up, they can build a pretty scary board. So I want to take this knockout while I can. set some aggression while I can. I'm not feeling like I'm gonna need these cards. Yeah, I don't feel like I really need these cards, but let's save the rope, because sometimes a rope can be almost as good as a boss's orders. And we could also consider this Drapion, because Drapion can knock out, I believe, Espeon VMAX as well. Yeah, we can actually get a one-hit knockout on one of the VMAX Pokemon. This is actually really scary for them. So instead of Giratina, I'm actually going to get this Drapion and bench it. And that escape, this goes really well with the escape rope, holding onto the escape rope as well, because now there's two Pokemon on their bench they're not going to want to promote. Okay, and they're just going to scoop. They see the turn 2 knockout. I'm attaching 3 energy to my Drapion V. They're not happy about that. We get the win. Win the coin flip. We want to go first. All this deck really needs turn 1 is Arceus plus energy, especially if it's going first and we're not afraid of what the opponent can do. We have Arceus plus energy. This is a really good hand. Feeling really good about this one. This deck does not get too many awful hands. Like, most of the time, you can grab an Arceus V if you didn't already start with one. Like, you can Nest Ball or Ultra Ball for it. And this deck plays a lot of energy, and it also plays some trekking shoes, so getting those energy attachments turn 1, you can pretty reliably get them down. Although you will have those games where you don't, and it kind of stinks, but what can you do about the outliers, right? So let's Ultra Ball away Flying Pikachu and Chorus. We're not going to use the Flying Pikachu. It might seem interesting to use in this matchup. It's not, because it's weak to Lightning, so they can just evolve into a Regieleki VMAX and take 3 prizes on that. The Giratina puts pressure on them. I could also grab a Bidoof here, but I do have Chorus's Experiment plus Starbirth next turn, so I feel like having this Giratina V that could potentially evolve up into Giratina V-Star and make that even harder for them to boss KO it on the following turn is more important than the Bidoof, since I already have a really strong hand here. So I'm going to put down the Giratina V and pass, and that's a great turn 1. So it looks like they're playing the pretty standard version. A couple of Raikos, a thick line of Regieleki stuff, probably 3 Miraidons. Go ahead, and Professor's researches away Boss's orders. Arvin, they have the Beach Court Electric Generator. Can they get the Miraidon, the turn 1 knockout? They whiff that Electric Generator. Can they get 2 energies here and knock out our Arceus? Only 1 energy. Our Arceus is safe, and so from there, I think we're pretty good to go. This matchup can be scary for this reason, because, I mean, this deck can just be scary regardless of what deck you're playing on turn 1, because they can get these pretty aggressive knockouts early. So is there a world where we should have gotten another Arceus V? Yes, there's definitely, like, if they knocked out the active Arceus V, then I definitely regret not getting another Arceus V, because then next turn I just evolve into Arceus V-Star Starbirth for Raihan plus a card. The Raihan attaches the energy. It also gets the double turbo that I need. Um, so if you want to play a more conservative route against this deck, then benching the second Arceus V instead of the Giratina V, the V might be better. It might have just objectively been better to keep me into the game from there. So that could have been a misplay, getting that Giratina V, but I'm not punished for it, even if it is a misplay. Okay, so we got the double turbo. We have Choice Belt. This hand is just so juiced, so this is really good. Let's go ahead and Chorus. Charon is great. Path to the Peak shuts off their Regieleki VMAX. And Chorus's Experiment gets us more cards next turn. So I am going to... Yes, we'll take these. And now I do still have Starbirth. I can use Starbirth here to get another Arceus V to make the Charon's Care more powerful. And probably a Bidoof so that an Ultra Ball or a Bibarel isn't out to something from the Chorus if I decide to use Chorus next turn. I could not use Starbirth, but I do want to replace their Beach Court, and I want to turn off their Regieleki VMAXs with my Path to the Peak. So I'm going to use Starbirth because there's a good chance this Path to the Peak could just stick from here on out. So we'll grab the Bidoof, and I said I wanted to grab an Arceus V. We have Choice Belt, and we have Path to the Peak, and we Trinity Nova Knockout, and I'll accelerate 1 energy to the Arceus so that if I Charin, I can attach double turbo to attack, and I'll attach 2 energy to the Giratina V, so that I'm just one attachment away from being able to use Lost Impact next turn if I get the Giratina V-Star. Take 2 prizes. Like I said, it was risky to not have that Arceus V down, and it ends up not even mattering that I had that Giratina V down. So looking back, I think I should have just gotten the Arceus V to have a more stable board state, because if that active Arceus V was knocked out by their Miraidon last turn, if they didn't get unlucky on the electric generator, then my game was probably over, and that was because of my mistake on the Giratina V bench. So from here on out in this matchup, I'm going to have to take into account that the Miraidon variants, especially the standard variant, is really aggressive and can take those early KOs pretty easily because they're made to just go through their deck, dump some cards, play electricity generators. And I'm going to have to be more aware of that moving forward. And that's something that you learn as you play matchups more and more, that, you might go into a matchup thinking, okay, let's play this card down to be aggressive. It wasn't right to be aggressive. We should have actually been a little more defensive. So we got judged there. It threw me off for a second because we still have the Charon's Care in our hand, but I don't have the Colress's Experiment. So let's thin the deck out here. We will grab another Giratina out. And now, of course, filling my bench is making the Raikos do more damage, but they already have Regieleki VMAXs to help them do more damage, and it doesn't matter what their Raikou V is doing if I am just going to sit here with a Giratina V not doing anything. So I'm not going to really care about my bench size right now. I care about getting better odds on getting a usable card off of Trekking Shoes, and we do. We get the Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is going to have to get rid of this double turbo energy, but that's okay because I'm going to get a Bibarel with this Ultra Ball. So we'll go ahead and Industrious Incisors for 5, and we're back on Trekking Shoes Roulette just like that. Let's Nest Ball for another Bidoof out of the deck. Do we have another Bibarel in the deck? We do, so that could be useful next turn. And Trekking Shoes yet again. We get a Path to the Peak. I'm going to say no to the Path to the Peak. We get a Psychic Energy. Okay. So they still have to switch retreat, but this is not looking too great. I could have thinned one less card out with the Nest Ball so that if I got an Ultra Ball, I could Ultra Ball for Giratina V-Star, attach double turbo, and swing. So, but that's kind of like reverse biasy, because like I know what happened now, so I can say what I quote should have done. Although if it worked out, then I would have been happy that I thinned the deck. So sometimes you also have to be able to tell between, like, did I make a misplay or did I make the statistically correct play and it just still didn't work out. And that's what I believe I did there. Was I thinned the deck with the Nest Balls to have more outs to supporters, to Bibarel, to Giratina V-Star, and of course to Ultra Ball. Although I didn't leave enough cards in my hand to be able to Ultra Ball away Charon plus another card that's not double turbo to get the Giratina V-Star if I wanted to go with that route of play. But I was still able to Ultra Ball for the Bibarel, which is not a bad consolation prize at all. That gets me 5 more cards, none of which were a supporter, unfortunately. One was Trekking Shoes, but it still didn't get me where I needed to go. Now we will have to see if the opponent can string together an attack, and it looks like they will not be able to with just a pass with Regieleki V Max in the active. And I do have a boss's orders here, which is interesting. Um, so I'm going to burn this escape rope because I can just retreat for free. I have this Bidoof, they have Beach Court out, so this is going to burn a card for me. And I also definitely do not mind attaching another energy down. We'll just attach... Actually, I might, because I might want double turbo. I'm down 2 double turbos. Lost Impact. It's important to manage how many energies you need to Lost Zone, but actually, I can knock out this Miraidon with Shred. So regardless, I'm taking a knockout here. We're gonna boss up this Miraidon. I'm gonna attach here because an Arceus with 3 basic energies can knock out Raikou and Industrious Incisors. Okay, cool. So we already bossed. So we're not using Colress, obviously, and then Shred 160. We're down to 2 prizes. This is a bit of a messy game, but hardly ever will you have a game that A, works out how you expected it to based on the matchup or the decks or your starting hands or your opponent's starting board, and B, very rarely will anyone play a 100% perfect game. That's not to say you shouldn't aim to play a perfect game, because you should aim to play a perfect game, but something important is when you feel like, oh, was that correct? Was that a misplay? Or looking back now, if I did this other thing first, like if I held onto that nest ball, would I have even gotten the ultra ball? Everything changes. It's like a butterfly effect. And you need to be able to remove yourself from dwelling and ruminating on those plays you did or did not do and focus on what you can do now. In the present, on this turn of the game, what can you do now um to make your chances the best they can be to win the game? Because, like, something to keep in mind is you will make misplays in a tournament, you will make misplays in practice, so regardless of where you're playing, you're going to make mistakes. the but what can you do to circumvent those mistakes, and what can you do to make up for them after they've already been made? Now I'm kind of remembering that I only had one Arceus V-Star in my deck this game, if memory serves correct, or maybe that was last game. um, yeah, we should be good to go. Oh wait, I can just promote this. We have Beach Court active. Okay, so I just need Arceus V-Star to exist. Let's see. Does Arceus V-Star exist? It does. Very good. Let's see. Do we need to bench anything? It would probably help to bench things, yeah. We burn the nest ball, we attach an energy, we play Pal Pad, we play a Pokemon, we play an energy, we can draw 2 cards with Bibarel before. Okay, so we're not going to get anything from nest ball. We want to maximize how many cards we can draw with Bibarel before the Colossus experiment. We'll just put, none of these really matter. I just want to, and this is also another thing, like I'm putting a 16th card into a 15 card deck, but I'm getting to draw one more card. So you also have to kind of understand, if your deck is larger, putting one card into it is going to matter a lot less than drawing one extra card out of your deck is giving you more options. So now let's go ahead and bench. It doesn't really matter what I bench because they can knock out anything here anyway. So we'll go ahead and bench this because I'm going for the win this turn. We'll go ahead and attach V-Guard Energy, and we get to draw one card with Bibarel. I said 2, but I think I was counting the Colossus experiment as being played for some reason. Okay, so we get Raihan, and that wins us the game. So making sure that we thinned our deck correctly there, thinned our hand down correctly too. We did not get anything with the nest ball because there was a card in our hand that we wanted to bench that we wouldn't have been able to if we got a target with the nest ball. So that's game with the Trinity Nova on Raikou V. Okay, so that's 2 games in a row we won so far with Arctina. I'm going to play one more. I plan to do these kinds of videos where I go onto the ranked ladder with a deck and play 3 games. 3 is just kind of like the number I threw out there. It takes like 30 minutes maybe to play through these games with some decks. Maybe if I play a harder to play deck like Control or a Gardevoir variant that has longer games, maybe I'll do like 1 or 2 games for those videos. But collect our currencies, our rewards, and game 3. Heads, there we go. Going first. Alright, we'll start Bidoof. Bidoof. A third Ultra Ball, okay. And we're playing against Lugia. We are definitely going to grab ourselves an Arceus. I'll get rid of Drapion Ultra Ball. We started with 3 Ultra Balls. Let's check if our Pikachu line's in the deck. We prized Flying Pikachu V Max, but we can still threaten them with the Flying Pikachu V. That's still scary for them to see. They might boss it up and leave our Arceus alone. And then I don't want to... do I want to give them a free way to get this Lugia out of the active? It's not like hitting into the Lugia is great for me because I can't knock it out next turn, so I might just wait and escape rope and let them send up something else. Yeah, I'll hold on to the escape rope, I believe. I'll hold on to escape rope. So all we need there is the Arceus plus energy. Capturing Aroma, Tails. We could see a Lumineon here, another Lugia, but they're going to want to get many Archeopses. Capturing Aroma number 2. This time it's a heads, so we'll probably see an Archeops this time. We don't. We see a Lugia V-Star. Double Turbo to the active and read the win. They already have Archeops, maybe? Yeah, they already have Archeops. Okay. So Double Turbo's nice to see. Um, okay, okay. So what I'm thinking is we want to judge path this turn, and holding onto that escape rope gives us the ability to do so. So we're going to Ultra Ball away the Chorus and the Lightning Energy, and I'm going to get Arceus VSTAR. We are going to Starbirth for Judge and Path, and then attach Rope. We're really just using our hand to our advantage here. Like, this isn't like like Ultra Ball, Rope, Path to a one card hand that's a judge. Like, this isn't the typical starting position in this matchup. It's not like the ideal, like, okay, so you're going to want to do this. But I looked at this hand and I saw the opportunity for this play presented to me. I know that they just burnt to capturing aromas. They only have one Archeops in the discard. They just grabbed a Lugia V-Star, but they also had a 7-card hand because they just drew more cards with Read the Wind. So I saw an opportunity to affect their board pretty greatly, or at least their hand, their setup, their game plans pretty greatly, potentially. And I didn't really have to sacrifice much on my side to do that, especially since my main goal in this matchup would typically be to use Flying Pikachu, and currently Flying Pikachu VMAX is prized. So right now we're just going aggressive with Arceus's under Path to the Peak, and we'll see what that does for us. Notably, Path to the Peak also stops their Luminion. Okay, so they do have Collapse Stadium, and they have Professor's Research. Professor's Research away a Roxanne and an Urn of Vitality, not really a big deal. Okay, so they're able to get out of this. Ultra Ball, okay, Ultra Ball not getting rid of a second Archeops, though, so now they're going to get an Archeops, and they're going to Ultra Ball that one away. Let's see. Do they have a way to discard that Archeops? They might have an Ultra Ball, and they're deciding what the other card they discard is with the Archeops. That's looking like what the decision was. Yeah, so they're going to get rid of a double turbo. I wonder if this Lugia V that they have out in the active is going to get stranded. It's also nice to see they burn the Collapse Stadium, because they would have liked to use that Collapse Stadium to remove a damaged Lugia from their board, but instead they just used it to bump a path. Now, I think they're going to attach 2 energy to the active Lugia, retreat, and then swing with a clean Lugia V-Star. I think that's what the line of play is here for them. Yeah, there's the double V guard, gift energy. So they are going to attack with this Lugia. That's kind of weird. That's really weird to me that they're going to attack with this Lugia. And okay, they're evolving it. I would have rather seen them retreat it and attack with a clean Lugia, so they're not letting me take 2 prizes, but maybe they don't know how important it is for me to take prize cards because I'm missing the Flying Pikachu VMAX. I did get a Serena there, though, so I could have always Serena'd up the damaged Lugia if I needed to. So let's start this out with a Chorus. I'm definitely looking for ways to get Flying Pikachu. We don't need the extra Arceuses, so that was really good. Let's Trekking Shoes. Nest Ball. Wonderful. That's exactly what we want. So we'll go ahead and grab the Flying Pikachu V. And we could need the Choice Belt because of V-Guard energies, but they just dumped all those V-Guard energies there. And now there's a couple things I could do. I could get a Bibarel, but I kind of want to save the Serena. I could evolve this, but this could also be Ultra Ball fodder in the future. I kind of want to save all of these cards in my hand, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to Trinity Nova for the knockout and attach a Lightning Energy to Flying Pikachu V, because I did save this Lightning Energy in the deck during the last Trinity Nova for the Flying Pikachu V. We take 2 prizes, looking for the VMAX. We do not get the VMAX, but they don't know it. They don't even know that the VMAX was excuse me, was ever missing in the first place. So this could actually save our active Arceus if they want to make a point to boss and knock out this Flying Pikachu V. The Flying Pikachu does really, really help in this matchup, though. Oh, I love that they benched the Tyranitar, because I can actually knock that out in one shot with the Arceus V-Star plus the Choice Belt, because I have all basic energies on this Arceus V on the bench. Now let's see where this Primal Turbo's going. Wow, okay. So they're going to use Stone Journer plus Judge. The Judge hurts because I had that Choice Belt. The Judge definitely hurts, and this makes me wish that I did get that Bibarel. But they also play down a Messagoza, and that Messagoza can certainly help me. They've gone through a lot of energies, though. They're down in Urn. They're down There's a double turbo in the discard, and there's one on the board. There's 3 V guards and a gift down as well. Actually, are there 2 double turbos down? There's 2 double turbos down and a third on the board. This says free retreat, so we'll send this up. Oh, they play Dunsparce. Very interesting. Messagoza, please. It is heads. That is wonderful. That is really wonderful. Okay, so we can get Bibarel. We could also... We actually have all the cards to... Oh my goodness. The Dunsparce also stops them from hitting our Arceus VSTAR for weakness. Okay, this is amazing. We can boss knock out the Tyranitar, take 2 prizes. Okay, this is so good. So it's also important to notice the board as it changes, because this Stonejourner was very scary for a moment, but it's a lot less scary now that our opponent put Dunsparce down. Okay, and the path is not really helping me if I put it down, so let's just Nest Ball. I think I have 1 Psychic Energy left in the deck. Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and grab this, because I also believe I have Charon's Care left, so setting up an extra Arceus could be really good for that reason. So here's Trinity Nova 230 on the Tyranitar. We'll put this Psychic on this Arceus here. We take 2 prizes, and we get the Flying Pikachu VMAX. Now, even without hitting weakness, Flying Pikachu VMAX is really good in this matchup, because what are Lugia's other attackers besides Lugia? Tyranitar and Stonejourner, and they're basic Pokemon. And Pikachu even resists Stonejourner. Mesa goes as all heads this game, and I'm here for it as long as it gives me a head next turn, because I need Bibarel. Bibarel would be really good. Oh, they're playing Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. That's scary, but I think it might be too little too late. It also puts down another target for me to boss and knock out. So there is a judge. Let's see what they give us off the judge. And it's Serena. So now I have game in my hand. I can just Serena up the Single Strike Urshifu V. I realized that they saw the Single Strike Urshifu V. I assume they're playing V Max in the deck as a threat here. Actually, did I already see them discard one? No, I saw them discard the gold urns. I wanted to go back and make sure, because sometimes I'll see gold cards and kind of just think they're one thing, and then I go back and look and, oh, that gold card was actually not an urn. It was a Single Strike Urshifu. Anyway, so they're seeing this as a threat. It doesn't have a V-Guard, unfortunately, because they wasted their V-Guards early on, and I'm just going to be able to knock this out for the game. So throughout these 3 games, I hope I was able to show the consistency, the aggression, the power of Arceus Giratina, and how you can play this to a lot of victories on the Pokemon TCG Live ranked ladder. I think it's probably like around the 5th or 6th or 7th best deck in the format. It's not overtly like broken or overpowered or anything, but it's consistently very good. So that's why it's been one of my top choices for grinding on the ranked ladder, which my rank is like, it's fine. I'd like it to be higher, but I've been trying to win with like a lot of the free decks unedited and stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to climb more and more as I'm doing these videos. But yeah, thanks for watching. Links in the description. Subscribe. This is a new channel, and I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll see you next time here on Celio 2. That's gonna be weird. We'll need a new catchphrase for that. See you guys.